One of the world's oldest works of literature, the Gilgamesh tablets, was looted from Iraq during the Gulf War.
No other ancient Near Eastern text has been as influential on the modern world as Gilgamesh had.
In history, Gilgamesh, the famed king of Uruk, stands tall, both physically and symbolically, respected as a giant among men, and even worshipped as a minor god in Mesopotamian tales. Recently, researchers claim to have found a part of Gilgamesh's remains in the barren lands of Mesopotamia. Intriguingly, these scientists aim to unravel the secrets hidden in his DNA, embarking on a risky quest. But what motivated them to take on this challenging task? Join us as we explore the mysterious disappearance of the scientists who dared to decode the genetic mysteries of Gilgamesh the Giant. The disturbing legend of Gilgamesh. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known literary works, is a marvel of ancient storytelling. Carved into script tablets dating back to the 3rd millennium BCE, this Mesopotamian epic offers a fascinating glimpse into the beliefs, culture, and society of the time. Gilgamesh, the central figure of the epic, isn't just a legendary king. He's a figure hidden in mystery and debate. Some historians believe he might have been based on a real historical figure, possibly King Gilgamesh of Uruk, who ruled around 2700 BCE. Others see him as a purely mythical character, symbolizing the aspirations and struggles of humanity. The epic's portrayal of him as a towering figure, standing at 17 feet tall, reflects the Mesopotamian fascination with larger-than-life heroes and gods. It's a proof of their admiration of power and strength, attributes that Gilgamesh certainly possesses in abundance. But his story isn't just about physical prowess. It's a rich fabric of themes and design that resonate across cultures and time periods. From the pursuit of immortality to the value of friendship, from the responsibilities of leadership to the inevitability of death, the epic explores profound questions about the human experience. One of the most captivating aspects of the story is his relationship with Enkidu, the wild man created by the gods. Enkidu isn't just a sidekick or a tool for the gods' machinations. He's a fully realized character in his own right. Their bond, forged through shared adventures and trials, is at the heart of the epic, illustrating the transformative power of friendship. As they journey through the legendary landscape of ancient Mesopotamia, they encounter a host of fantastical creatures and challenges. From battling the monstrous Humbaba to confronting the goddess Ishtar, each encounter tests their courage, wisdom, and resilience. Ultimately, the epic's enduring appeal lies in its timeless themes and universal truths. Whether it's the quest for meaning in a chaotic world or the struggle to come to terms with mortality, Gilgamesh's journey speaks to the human condition in a way that transcends time and culture. Despite the cautionary words of wise elders and the trembling warnings of locals, Gilgamesh's indomitable desire for renown and glory propelled him forward, with Enkidu steadfast by his side. In their daring confrontation with Humbaba, the sun god Shamash illuminated the forest with golden rays, casting shadows that danced with the flare of uncertainty and the promise of greatness. The clash between mortal and demigod reverberated through the ancient trees, as Gilgamesh, fueled by his thirst for immortality, wielded his mighty weapons with the determination of a hero destined for legend. With Enkidu as his loyal companion, they faced the monstrous guardian with courage born of desperation and ambition. The aftermath of their triumph was not without consequence. Despite emerging victorious, the gods, in their mysterious wisdom, decreed a price to be paid for their audacity. Enkidu, loyal and fierce, bore the weight of their defiance, succumbing to an illness that swept through him like a relentless storm, leaving Gilgamesh stripped of and grappling with the unforgiving grip of mortality. Enkidu's passing marked not only the end of a friendship forged in the agony of adventure, but also ignited within Gilgamesh a relentless quest for eternal life. His journey took him beyond the boundaries of known lands, traversing dangerous terrain and encountering mythical creatures that tested his resolve and strength. From the peaks of towering mountains to the depths of dark waters, Gilgamesh's quest became a proof of the unyielding spirit of humanity in the face of overwhelming odds. The legend of Gilgamesh, with its blend of historical truth and mythical embellishment, continues to captivate minds and inspire exploration into the depths of ancient civilizations. Scholars and enthusiasts alike ponder the mysterious figure at its center, debating whether he was a mortal king who walked the earth or a creation of imagination woven into the fabric of Sumerian legends. Interestingly, thorough and attentive investigations have uncovered links between this epic legend and ancient Iraq. Rediscovering his birthplace in southern Iraq, In modern-day southern Iraq lies the once-forgotten city of Uruk, a place brimming with the secrets of ancient times. This city was not just a settlement, it was a beacon of innovation. Its very existence in the heart of Mesopotamia, a region that altered the course of history, speaks volumes about its significance. Mesopotamia, the land cradled between rivers, witnessed the genesis of our earliest urban centers, the dawn of writing, and the ascent of mighty empires. Uruk, once a thriving metropolis, now lay obscured by the sands of time, its glory fading into legend. However, in the 19th century, driven by insatiable curiosity, fearless explorers and archaeologists set out to unravel its mysteries. Among these adventurers was British archaeologist William Loftus, whose groundbreaking discovery in 1849 near the village of Raqqa marked the potential site of Uruk. Despite initial limitations in excavation, Loftus unearthed inscriptions that hinted at the city's identity, laying the groundwork for future endeavors. Yet it was the German Oriental Society that truly brought Uruk back into the spotlight. In 1912, armed with a license from the Ottoman Empire, a team led by Julius Jordan embarked on a systematic excavation of Uruk. Their efforts yielded a breathtaking trove of artifacts and architectural marvels, painting a vibrant portrait of a civilization that had achieved unparalleled heights of sophistication and cultural prowess. From the majestic White Temple to the imposing Anu Ziggurat, and from the intricate Uruk vases to the sprawling Anunnaki complex, each discovery spoke volumes about the ingenuity and vision of the people who once called Uruk home. Through their careful work, these archaeologists unveiled the majesty of Uruk to the world, breathing new life into its ancient legacy. This remarkable journey of discovery, sparked by Layard's pioneering efforts, led to the unearthing of not just ancient artifacts, but also invaluable insights into the lives of people who lived millennia ago. As Layard embarked on his expedition to Nineveh in 1849, he ventured into a region filled in history and mystery. The landscape of present-day northern Iraq, where Nineveh once stood, was a cradle of civilization, where cultures intermingled and empires rose and fell. Amidst the ruins of Nineveh, Layard and his team carefully excavated layer upon layer of history, revealing not just the physical remnants of a bygone era, but also the stories and legends that were preserved in clay tablets and inscriptions. The discovery of the Epic of Gilgamesh was not merely a stroke of luck, it was the culmination of years of painstaking excavation and scholarly analysis. Moreover, Layard's work didn't just focus on uncovering artifacts, it also involved careful documentation and preservation efforts. His detailed records and sketches provided invaluable context for understanding the significance of each discovery and its place within the broader historical narrative. Furthermore, his excavations weren't without challenges. The harsh conditions of the desert, logistical hurdles, and the ever-present threat of political instability added layers of complexity to his endeavors. Yet despite these obstacles, his unwavering dedication to unraveling the mysteries of the ancient Near East drove him forward. In the end, his legacy extends far beyond the mere discovery of ancient texts and artifacts. His work laid the groundwork for modern archaeology and reshaped our understanding of the origins of civilization. Exploring further, we find captivating discoveries hidden in an ancient civilization. The lost library of Ashurbanipal. Buried beneath the shifting dunes of the desert lies a proof of the intellectual prowess of ancient civilizations. The legendary library of Ashurbanipal, a sovereign whose legacy extends far beyond the borders of Assyria. Renowned for his insatiable thirst for knowledge, Banipal's library stood as a beacon of enlightenment in a world hidden in the darkness of antiquity. As Lard embarked on his expedition into the heart of the desert, he ventured into a realm where time itself seemed to stand still. Amidst the vast expanse of sand, he uncovered the remnants of an empire long forgotten, its treasures buried beneath layers of history. Among these treasures, the clay tablets of Banipal's library emerged as beacons of wisdom, offering glimpses into the cultural fabric of ancient Mesopotamia. The fragment that captivated his imagination was more than just a relic of a bygone era. It was a piece of a larger puzzle, an epic tale woven from the threads of myth and legend. The Epic of Gilgamesh, with its timeless themes of friendship, mortality, and the search for meaning, transcended the boundaries of time and space, resonating with readers across millennia. But the significance of his discovery extended beyond mere literary intrigue. Rooted within the clay were traces of a civilization that laid the foundation for modern society, a civilization that pioneered writing, mathematics, and astronomy, shaping the course of human history in ways that are still felt today. As he carefully examined the intricate script inscribed upon the weathered surface of the tablet, he became acutely aware of the weight of history resting in his hands. Each stroke of the pen, each curve of the writing script told a story of triumph and tragedy, of conquest and defeat, echoing through the corridors of time. In the annals of archaeological discovery, his unearthing of the Gilgamesh tablet would be remembered as a pivotal moment, a moment when the past reached out to touch the present, bridging the gap between ancient civilizations and the modern world. And as scholars pored over the fragments of this ancient epic, piecing together the puzzle of humanity's collective memory, they were reminded of the enduring power of storytelling to transcend the bounds of time and space. Their excavation efforts, initially focused on other archaeological pursuits, fortunately led to the discovery of more than 15,000 additional fragments of tablets within the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia. Each fragment, a tiny piece of the grand puzzle, held within it a fragment of the epic narrative waiting to be pieced together. With careful precision, these fragments were carefully cataloged and transported to the hallowed halls of the British Museum in London, where they would become the focal point of a monumental endeavor spanning generations. The task of analyzing the ancient script was no small feat. It required not only scholarly expertise, but also technological innovation. Scholars, linguists, and archaeologists alike dedicated themselves to the painstaking task of unlocking the secrets encoded within these ancient symbols. The process was difficult, requiring years of study, collaboration, and refinement. George Smith was also a figure whose humble beginnings belied his profound impact on the world of ancient scholarship. Born into a working-class family in the bustling metropolis of London, Smith's early years were marked by hardship and toil. Despite lacking formal education, his demanding curiosity and innate intellect propelled him forward. Initially employed as an engraver of banknotes, his introduction to the world of ancientness came by chance. News of Layard's groundbreaking excavations in Iraq captured his imagination, igniting a spark of curiosity that would soon blaze into a consuming passion. Determined to unravel the mysteries of the past, Smith immersed himself in the study of ancient languages and scripts, mastering the complications of script. His breakthrough came amidst the dusty fragments of script tablets, where he stumbled upon a revelation that would forever alter the course of history. Amidst the complicated script, Smith explained the ancient tale of Gilgamesh, a legendary king whose exploits transcended time and space. His tireless efforts not only unlocked the secrets of the Epic of Gilgamesh, but also shed light on the rich fabric of Mesopotamian civilization. His discoveries revolutionized our understanding of ancient history, offering a glimpse into the lives, beliefs, and aspirations of our distant ancestors. But where exactly is Gilgamesh's tomb, and just how was it found? The horrifying search for Gilgamesh's tomb. Smith, a humble clerk by profession, possessed an insatiable thirst for knowledge that extended far beyond the confines of his mundane daily routine. His fascination with ancient civilizations was sparked by tantalizing reports from archaeological expeditions to distant lands, where fearful explorers dig up artifacts covered in mystery and antiquity. With each passing day, Smith found himself increasingly drawn to the British Museum, a treasure trove of human history nestled amidst the bustling streets of London. During his lunch breaks and precious moments of respite, he wandered through its hallowed halls, soaking in the aura of ancient wisdom that permeated the air. Driven by an unquenchable curiosity, he immersed himself in the study of ancient languages and scripts, ranging from the elegant image of ancient Egypt to the complicated inscriptions of Mesopotamia. As he delved deeper into his studies, Smith became acquainted with the works of pioneering scholars such as Henry Rawlinson and George Smith, whose groundbreaking translations of scripts texts had illuminated the records of ancient history. Inspired by their achievements, he resolved to follow in their footsteps, even if it meant traversing uncharted territories of knowledge. In 1866, fate intervened in the form of an unexpected opportunity. The staff of the British Museum, intrigued by Smith's unwavering dedication and comprehensive knowledge, extended an invitation for him to join their ranks. It was a rare chance for a self-taught enthusiast to step into the inner retreat of learning and contribute to the ongoing quest for understanding. Eager to prove himself worthy of this honor, he eagerly accepted the offer, plunging headlong into the daunting task that lay ahead. His first assignment, to break the trove of script fragments unearthed by the legendary archaeologist Austen Henry Layard, whose expeditions had uncovered the ruins of ancient Assyria and Babylon. Undeterred by the magnitude of the challenge, he threw himself into his work with unwavering determination. Day and night, he pored over the ancient inscriptions, piecing together fragments of a lost civilization with the patience of a seasoned detective unraveling a centuries-old mystery. Years passed in a mask of scholarly pursuit as he painstakingly reconstructed the forgotten tales of a bygone era. And then, in the year 1872, his efforts bore fruit in the most unexpected of ways. Amidst the countless fragments scattered before him, he stumbled upon a revelation that would send shockwaves through the corridors of academia, a fragment containing a narrative strikingly similar to the biblical story of Noah's Ark. It was a moment of triumph for Smith, a validation of his tireless dedication and unwavering faith in the power of knowledge to transcend the boundaries of time and space. And as he gazed upon the ancient text before him, he knew that his journey was far from over, that countless mysteries still awaited discovery, hidden within the twisting depths of history's tangled confusion. Smith's discoveries shook up the academic and theological communities across Europe. Many hailed his findings as proof that the biblical flood story held true. However, Smith's journey was far from over. In 1875, he published his most significant work yet, a complete translation of the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest known written story. Tragically, Smith's life was cut short in 1876 by illness when he was just 36 years old. Nevertheless, his legacy lives on. His groundbreaking research laid the groundwork for our understanding of the ancient world, revealing a literary masterpiece that continues to captivate audiences across generations and cultures. In 2003, where Jörg Fassbender, a geophysicist from the Department of Historical Monuments, made an astonishing announcement. His team had potentially uncovered the tomb of Gilgamesh near the ancient city of Uruk. Fassbender asserted that this tomb matched descriptions found in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Their team revealed a massive structure, approximately 490 feet long and 390 feet wide, within the former Euphrates riverbed just outside the city's walls. This structure, he believed, aligned perfectly with the epic's portrayal of his burial site. Upon his death, the people of Uruk mourned their king and diverted the mighty Euphrates River. This diversion revealed a natural vault where Gilgamesh was laid to rest with treasures worthy of his royal status. After the burial, the river returned to its original course, concealing the tomb once more. There are clearly many mysteries surrounding Gilgamesh's tomb, but where exactly did they come from, and just how true are they? Debunking the devastating narrative surrounding Gilgamesh's tomb. Elizabeth Stone, an archaeologist hailing from Stony Brook University, emerged as a prominent dissenting voice, strongly criticizing Fassbender's assertion as preposterous and irresponsible. She contended that the Epic of Gilgamesh, a tale deeply entwined with both myth and reality, inevitably leads to discrepancies regarding the tomb's location and characteristics across various retellings of the narrative. Despite facing fierce opposition, Fassbender stood firm in his conviction. He adamantly maintained that his team had unearthed structures and artifacts mirroring descriptions found within the epic. These discoveries included lush gardens, fertile fields, dwellings, and a complicated canal system reminiscent of the architectural marvels of Venice, all nestled within the dry expanse of the desert. Scientists recently decoded the DNA of Gilgamesh, the legendary giant, yielding astonishing results. In a rare turn of events in 2018, a significant change unfolded along the banks of the Euphrates River, as one side of its shore dried up completely, revealing a stretch of riverbed unseen for millennia. This unprecedented alteration presented a golden opportunity for archaeologists, notably a team spearheaded by Dr. Zahab al-Ali of the University of Baghdad and Dr. David Hawkins of the University of Oxford. Their careful investigation of the exposed area unveiled the faint outline of a massive ancient structure, hidden in the mysteries of time and awaiting further exploration. Further excavation revealed an astonishing discovery: a massive stone casket stretching 20 feet in length, 6.5 feet in width, and standing 5 feet tall. This imposing structure was not only impressive in size, but also adorned with intricate engravings and reliefs portraying scenes from the Epic of Gilgamesh. Of particular interest was the inscription of Bil Gams, the Sumerian term for Gilgamesh, etched into the stone. However, the true revelation came with the DNA analysis, which uncovered traces of both Neanderthal and ancient Iraqi ancestry within the remains. Could this casket indeed be the final resting place of the legendary hero? Theories abound, with Andrew George proposing a captivating alternative to the traditional belief in Gilgamesh's burial within Uruk. As a distinguished professor of Babylonian studies at the University of London and an expert on the epic, George's hypothesis carries weight. He suggests that he might rest not in his famed city, but rather in the ancient Syrian city of Raqqa. George's theory is rooted in meticulous textual analysis and a profound understanding of Mesopotamian history. It finds its foundation in an ancient clay tablet fragment predating known versions of the epic, which contains a cryptic line, "He crossed the sea, the broad sea, the waters of death." This seemingly safe phrase led George on a journey of exploration, ultimately revealing the mythical sea referred to as the Balak River, a tributary of the Euphrates in northern Syria. Raqqa, situated along the winding banks of the Balak, resonated with George as a plausible final resting place for Gilgamesh. Through careful examination of Assyrian sources, George's theory challenges conventional beliefs and ignites scholarly curiosity and debate within the academic community. It offers a fresh perspective on the legendary king's fate, enriching our understanding of ancient history and the enduring legacy of Gilgamesh. Interestingly, there's no way you could talk of the legacy of Gilgamesh without mentioning the focal position of Rhea in his emergence as a legendary figure. The mythic secrets of Rhea. Drawing upon ancient texts and archaeological findings, he highlights the significance of Rhea in the records of history. It emerges as a home of religious activity, where rituals and ceremonies once echoed through its ancient streets. The city's importance transcends mere mortal affairs, with its name whispered in the same breath as biblical narratives in legendary sagas. Nimrod, the central figure in George's investigation, emerges from the mists of time as a towering figure of antiquity. Descended from the lineage of Noah, Nimrod's exploits are covered in story and legend. He stands at the crossroads of history and mistaken belief, his deeds immortalized in the tales of Gilgamesh, the epic hero of Mesopotamian lore. He uncovers tantalizing parallels between the adventures of Gilgamesh and the deeds attributed to Nimrod. The lines fade between reality and tale as he suggests that these narratives may be twisted, woven together by the threads of ancient storytelling. But it is not just the realm of mortals that captures his imagination. He peers beyond the veil of earthly existence, delving into the realms of the divine and the otherworldly. The Anunnaki, those mysterious beings of Mesopotamian tradition, emerge as key players in his narrative. These mysterious gods, said to dwell in the depths of the underworld, hold sway over the destinies of mortals. His hypothesis takes flight as he explores the possibility that the Anunnaki may have had a hand in shaping the destiny of Gilgamesh and Nimrod alike. Could these ancient deities have been more than mere figments of imagination? Could they, as some theorists suggest, have been extraterrestrial visitors, guiding humanity from the shadows? As George pieces together the puzzle, a tantalizing vision emerges. The tomb of Nimrod, or the figure that inspired Gilgamesh, becomes more than just a resting place for earthly remains. It becomes a center of cosmic significance, a focal point where the threads of tale and reality intertwine. Should his theories find validation, the legacy of Gilgamesh and Nimrod takes on a new dimension. No longer confined to the pages of ancient texts, their stories resonate across the cosmos, echoing through the corridors of time. Naturally, George's theory garners both fascination and doubt. Some scholars question his interpretation of the ancient texts, while others highlight the immense challenges of conducting research in a conflict-ridden region. Despite these obstacles, he stands firm in the validity of his hypothesis, which suggests a connection between the Epic of Gilgamesh and biblical narratives. These stories, woven into the rich tapestry of human civilization, have resonated deeply across cultures and generations. Few literary works have had such a profound impact across time and space as the Epic of Gilgamesh and the stories found in the Bible. Despite being separated by thousands of years and vast geographical distances, these ancient texts share remarkable similarities that have captivated both scholars and the general public. This hints at the possibility of shared traditions and connections that transcend the confines of historical boundaries. One of the most compelling parallels lies in the flood narratives present in both the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Book of Genesis. In the records of history, the story of the Great Flood happens through the tale of Utnapishtim, offering intriguing similarities to the biblical narrative found in Genesis. And interestingly, the Epic of Gilgamesh is strongly linked to some other notable events in history. The strange links between Noah's Ark, Gilgamesh, and the Garden of Eden. A virtuous man chosen by higher powers, tasked with constructing a colossal vessel to safeguard life amidst an impending cataclysmic flood. This tale bears a remarkable similarity to the well-known biblical story of Noah's Ark, where the righteous Noah receives divine instruction to build an ark and gather pairs of all living creatures to withstand the imminent deluge. Both narratives portray the release of birds to scale the retreat of floodwaters, the eventual grounding of the arks on mountaintops, and the offering of sacrifices to appease the forces behind the catastrophic flood. These striking parallels have ignited lively discussions among scholars. Some propose that the biblical version might have drawn inspiration from or been influenced by earlier Mesopotamian accounts. Another intriguing connection arises in the tales of the Garden of Eden and the transformation of Enkidu in the Epic of Gilgamesh. In the biblical narrative, Adam and Eve's creation and subsequent expulsion from paradise after yielding to temptation symbolize humanity's awakening to mortality and the pursuit of knowledge. Similarly, Enkidu undergoes a profound change after being introduced to civilization by the temple priestess Shamhat. His adoption of societal norms such as consuming bread and wine, wearing clothes, and obeying laws estranges him from his original existence, leading to a realization of mortality relating to Adam and Eve's story. Debates persist among scholars regarding the biblical narrative's relationship with its Mesopotamian counterpart. Some argue that it serves as a critique or reinterpretation of the older tale, offering fresh insights into human nature, divine will, and the quest for knowledge. However, while the parallels between the Epic of Gilgamesh and biblical stories are evident, their interpretation and significance remain subjects of ongoing scholarly discourse. Some scholars view these shared narratives as evidence of a shared cultural heritage or the exchange of ideas among ancient civilizations. Conversely, others consider them as independent reflections of universal human experiences, exploring themes such as existence, mortality, and humanity's connection with the divine. Regardless of the perspective from which we examine these connections, the enduring ringing of ancient narratives serves as a proof of the profound impact of storytelling. Across cultures and periods, these tales have woven themselves into the fabric of human experience, captivating and inspiring generations of readers and scholars alike. In a stunning revelation, scientists recently embarked on a journey into the genetic code of Gilgamesh, the mythical giant of Mesopotamian lore. This endeavor unearthed a treasure trove of insights that not only challenged conventional views of human evolution, but also shed light on the enigmatic origins of ancient myths. Leading this groundbreaking exploration is Svante Pääbo, a visionary geneticist renowned for his pioneering research. Pääbo's earlier investigations shattered long-held beliefs by revealing the distinctiveness of prehistoric humans as a separate species diverging from modern humans some 500,000 years ago. However, his subsequent inquiries unveiled an even more astonishing revelation: evidence of intimate interactions between Homo sapiens and our prehistoric human kin. Building upon his foundational work, this latest discovery suggests that a significant portion of the genetic makeup of modern humans, particularly those of European or Asian descent, can be traced back to these ancient encounters. These findings not only blur the lines of our evolutionary past, but also provide compelling insights into the complex fabric of human ancestry. Moreover, this genetic revelation offers a fascinating explanation for the mythical portrayal of Gilgamesh as a being of divine and human lineage. It hints at the possibility that ancient storytellers might have drawn upon real-life encounters between early humans, weaving these encounters into the rich fabric of tale and legend that continues to captivate our imagination. Thus, this meeting of scientific inquiry and ancient storytelling not only enriches our understanding of human history, but also underscores the enduring power of narrative to transcend temporal and cultural boundaries, forging connections that resonate across millennia. Could something more terrifying emerge from the sequencing of Gilgamesh's DNA in the near future? Share your thoughts and answers with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.